Hi, everybody. This is Dee Dee Russell with WeddingVenueOwners.com and the Wedding Venue Owners and Managers community. I am so excited to be joined today by Dustin Lopez with TourMyVenue.com. Every wedding venue, every single wedding venue should have a virtual tour, and we're going to get into why that's so important and how this tool can help you book more weddings, help you screen, all kinds of great features that a virtual tour can provide for you. So much value, but Dustin's going to help us understand that a little bit better because he's the expert on that today. I do want to do a little shout out to our sponsors over at Ventura for event cancellation and wedding cancellation and event liability insurance. Ventura, the Seatco, if you're looking for new chairs and seats, and venue furniture, the Seatco is amazing. Weave-In for technology, for wedding venue technology. Maru, we love Maru. They do wedding financing for couples, for engaged couples, and payment processing for venues. And then our friends over at Moppet. So all of you out there that are venues and also have floors, Moppet is your best friend, especially at 2 a.m. when you want to stop cleaning that venue and go to bed, or flip it quicker for the next, or all those amazing things our venue owners do. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe so that you can have first access to all of our next videos and information and all the value that we share here. And if you're an up and coming venue, please find us on Wedding Venue Owners and Managers community on Facebook. So all that out of the way. Good morning, Dustin. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm really well. It's middle of the week, and I could not be more excited to get into another weekend at the beginning of wedding season here. It was always just so fresh, and the creativity is there, right?
Okay, clearly Dustin is not having wedding venue fatigue. We hope that that's contagious with all of our wedding venue owners in our community, because weddings are romantic and beautiful and we love them, but they can be exhausting. So I'm glad to see that you have all this great energy. I hope it is contagious through our whole venue community, because some of our venue owners are definitely feeling the little stressors of the hectic wedding season.
Talk to me in October. I'll probably be there.
Well, so I want to talk today about the virtual tours. It's so amazing that we connected, because I have been researching this. I've been researching the statistics and the data, and it really looks like huge numbers in the favor of virtual tours helping venue owners to convert leads to sales. While you're sleeping, venue owners, those of you who get to sleep, you could be processing more leads and more sales with those amazing virtual tours. So tell me a little bit about TourMyVenue.com, how it got started, what you do, a little bit about the company.
Yeah, definitely. So my wife and I had owned a wedding photography studio for a number of years, did a lot of commercial real estate shooting. And in 2018, we decided to buy a wedding venue. We thought it was a really great idea. Got a couple of partners, the largest entertainment company here in Cleveland, and also a wedding planner. So a planner, a photographer, and a DJ all got together and bought a wedding venue. And we were all pumped and ready to go, put in all of our hearts and money into this place, and opened or was hoping to open in March of 2020. And then the pandemic, right? And so many people were affected in so many different ways. For us, it was really an opportunity. We were able to help out a lot of other venues that were not open. Some of their clients came over to us, and that first year, even despite the pandemic, we were able to flourish in that first year. We never thought that that was even possible. And one of the ways that I feel like we were really able to do that really effectively was the fact that we had a virtual tour done right off the get-go. As soon as renovations were done, we had it scheduled right away, because we knew, hey, how are people going to see our space if people can't even, go out and about or to the grocery store? Nobody knew anything then, right? And so we learned really, really quickly that it was an amazing qualifier. People were able to see the space before seeing the space. They didn't have to necessarily, take the drive. It's a little bit removed from downtown Cleveland, about a 35, 40-minute drive. And so It's a 25-acre property, beautiful lakes and stuff, but people couldn't see that unless they drove out there. And so the beauty of the virtual tour was that they were able to see that. And when we started getting phone calls from some of our other venue owner friends that we had made contacts with in the industry over the years, we realized that there was a business there. And so what we did was we created a little mini community here in Cleveland, and just started building venues with virtual tours. And the more we learned what venues needed because of our own experience and how to integrate that into the workflow and the lead management process, and making sure you're re-emphasizing that 3D tour over and over and over again. And what our big focus has been in lead management has been quality, not quantity. And that quality starts with a 3D tour. And I know just in our short interaction, how important that is to you, and why I was so excited to be here today talking about exactly that.
Well, I love that you mentioned, a lead conversion. These are all things that are very important to our venue owners. Some of you might be out there thinking, well, I've got a gorgeous website. I've got social media. I've got some videos in my Facebook. Well, how hard are you willing to make it for your clients, your prospective leads, to find the piece of to find the tool that converts that sale from a prospective sale to a booked sale, to a booking? If you're making them search for your videos, if you think, well, I've got a couple things on a YouTube channel, all these things all over, you're kind of putting it on the client to find the thing that will excite them the most about your venue. But when they see a virtual tour, they're seeing, and this is kind of real estate based. So this isn't just, there was this gorgeous wedding and we shot this wedding, which those are lovely. Absolutely. I love those. Those are great. But those definitely more of an artistic, let's show the details. Let's show the candles. Let's show the flowers close up. Let's show the rings close up. Those are lovely and they're wedding content and they are beautiful. Absolutely. But they're not showing the hard and true facts of your venue that make someone book it. So one of the things that drives me nuts is I research tons of wedding websites and social media every week. And I compile a lot of data. And there's so often when I'll go to a wedding website or social media and I can't figure out what you are. It says you're a venue, but I don't see a building. I don't see a reception space. I don't see a ceremony site. I can't figure out how big it is. I don't know anything because you've got so many detail elements in there that you could be a florist for all I know. So there is a big difference between a beautiful styled real wedding video and a video designed to sell your wedding venue. So if you could speak on that a little bit, what is the difference and how do you approach it with regard to showing these spaces in their best light?
Yeah, we really try to focus on the big three questions: capacity, pricing, and availability. And I think that 3D tours really give you the ability to hit one of those. But if I can share my screen for just a moment.
Sure.
And come right over to here. This is the back end of one of our venues. You can very readily see that Gervasi has invested a whole lot of time into making their spaces look really amazing. The 3D tour really allows you to walk through the space and get a feel for the space. But what we've done is we've taken it a level further, because as venue owners, we know that we want to not have people drop off of our website. And finding information, as you've said, is, what are you? That should be very apparent very quickly. And so what we've done is we've overlaid on top of the virtual tour a whole bunch of really pertinent information so that bounce rate decreases and you keep people in your tour as long as possible. Because by keeping them engaged as long as possible, they're more likely to fill out the contact form. And so what we've done here is put things like the brochure right in here, very easily understood. You flip through the pages, so on and so forth. Having something like, where is it? Some of our venue owners have put their availability calendars directly in the tour. If you can think of something that you have as a repeatable task often with your clients, we can put it in the tour. And so you're maximizing that ROI and you're really keeping people engaged to the greatest length that you possibly can, converting it into a warm lead and then taking them through the tour process and really ending up with a booked wedding, which is what we all really want.
Absolutely. And just look at this picture on the screen for a minute. Anyone that's out there watching this, venue owners, imagine what you have as your visuals online right now. What's on your website? What's the first thing they see when they come to the website? What's the first thing they see when they come to your social media? Now look at this picture. This picture really makes you feel like you're standing in this huge space. And when you look at it from some of the beautiful video you might have, the real weddings or different things like that, they're taken from the lighting angles and from the romance elements of it. These are the cold, hard facts, just beautifully displayed of exactly what your space looks like and what your space offers. And this is what I rarely find on any wedding website or any social media marketing. There are venues, obviously, that are popping up using this. And I think that the statistics that I saw was something like 78% higher conversion rate when you have a venue tour, a virtual tour on your website that is easy to find and easily accessible and well done. Think about that, venue owners, for a minute. 78% higher conversion rate. This may be based more on real estate numbers. We're really starting to compile the data for wedding venues and figure out exactly what works for them. But if you're selling a space and you have a bunch of bouquet close-ups or a bunch of close-ups of, the numbers on tables and different design, elements of a wedding, which are beautiful and they are wedding content, how are you selling your spaces? So you did bring up bounce rate, and a lot of our venue owners probably don't know what that, or some of them don't know what that is. So bounce rate is relative to your SEO, and the bounce rate is easily found in your Google Analytics. It's something we talk about on every wedding venue owner's working vacation. What you want to do is keep people on your website as long as possible with great content, with great information. And imagine how long you see a tour like this, you're getting lost in there. You're looking at that space again. Imagine how much this makes your wedding venue stand out at 2 a.m. when that couple can't sleep and they're so excited and they're looking for a venue and they see all of this. You're worth a 30-minute drive. You're worth an hour drive outside the city. You're worth, giving up some Saturday time for this couple to come check out.
Yeah, and speaking just to the analytics side of things, that's why I think it's so relevant to look at our back end that we've built here that allows you to see all of the tours that you have on your property. Gervasi has a few because they have a few different areas. And what we've done is we've built an analytics page into the back end for these tours. Okay, so when we go in here and we look at the analytics for a particular 3D tour, we're able to see everything, not just from the views and the time spent. And when you look at the time spent, just as a sidebar, people are spending an incredible amount of time, a minute and a half, anything over a minute of spending on something is a lot of time to be spending in something. But we also see something cool like a heat map. Where are people clicking through to? And what we find is things like the bathrooms. People want to see the bathrooms. Why? I don't know. But this is what the analytics that we can now see where people are clicking through to. We can set different time limits here. This is just 1 week. We could go to a month or a year or all time. We can download that data, share it with somebody that we've hired for social media, and really start to look at what are we doing to make things better week to week or month to month? How are we tracking these things? And it's just so important. And this virtual tour is another thing in your repertoire of things to help book more weddings. It's a sales tool. It's also a marketing platform. It's everything kind of in one. And so, I don't want to take up too much time, but as we look through any one of these tours, you can see how people have really taken to, and this is the venue that we own, even the outside, being able to pop up on your grounds and be able to just very easily look at a 360, an individual 360 of the property, something that's not necessarily inside the building, but outside the building too.
Well,
Every
awesome.
property is unique. So this is something you probably talk about often.
So if you could share a little bit about what is the process like when a venue owner decides, hey, listen, this is amazing. I need this. I want this tool. I want to have help converting more leads to sales. So what does the process look like, Dustin, when they decide, let me give them a call. Let's start this process.
Yeah, we have made this super, super easy. We've invested about 1.5 years into making this process seamless. You give us a call. We service coast to coast through our network of 178 3D technicians. So no matter what city or state you're in, we're able to, be there very quickly and hop on a call. We talk about the size of your space, if you have multiple spaces, either in the same building or maybe there's different buildings, like Gervasi has a couple pavilions. And then from there, one of our technicians comes out, they scan your space. Generally speaking, for a few thousand square feet, it might take an hour, hour and a half. And then, you might have something like a 10,000 square foot that takes, several hours. So depending on the size of your space, we want to make sure that we're budgeting enough time. So we want to get that information before, and then our technician comes out, scans, and within 24 hours, you're up and running, really. Now this extra stuff, things like catering menus and photos and videos and things that you want to integrate into the tour, in that overlay, we're working on that concurrently. So we're getting stuff from you on Google Drive or Dropbox, and you're giving us all that content. We're plugging it into that tour, and you're ready to go and start sharing that 3D tour across all platforms. And that's really it. I mean, it's very.
How long does the process typically take from the time someone signs on to get a tour, to start to develop their tour, to completion?
I would say that most of the time within a week. I will show you just really quickly here that when we go to a really good example of something that some venue owners want to do is to actually set something up or have one of our technicians arrive in the middle of a wedding. And I bring this up as an example because there's kind of the two thought processes. One, which is fully set up, and one that is completely empty.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a difference there, right? This is incredibly challenging. I personally did this tour. This was for the Hilton Cleveland downtown, and this was a beautiful wedding. This was a couple $100,000 wedding. And so this, from a tour perspective, I was literally taking the last shot here on this last point, and 5 minutes later, the bride and groom were walking through that door. So
oh my gosh, that's stressful.
It was so stressful.
That is such a good point because, our venues, you probably have about 60% average type of weddings. Maybe you have about 30% that are budget. Maybe you have 10% or less that are that top, incredible, amazing. Budget is not a problem. They're dripping with flowers. They have the $10,000 gown. You don't see those weddings every day at every venue, but when you see that wedding that is going to be editorial or publish quality work, you go that extra level. So maybe you do spend a little bit more and you do invest a little on your own to have that day where we do a fully set up with a professional who understands they have to get in and out. They can't have an attitude. They can't freak out. They can't disrupt the wedding. They've got to get in, get out, know exactly the shots they've got to take so that they can get out of the way, get those beautiful images for that once in a lifetime event at your venue, and then I love this because some couples have a vision and they know everything they want down to the shade of pink that they want. And some of them have absolutely no vision at all. So when you're that couple that knows everything you want, that empty space is amazing. When you're the couple that is like, I don't have a vision for these things, show me what it looks beautiful, you have this image.
And that's why we recommend it's funny, I'm going out to Sun Valley this weekend with our team to do some 360s. They have this immaculate wedding happening. And so they're going to have it all set up. And what we're going to do is we typically show the space empty. We're going to do just one 360, because one 360 takes 30 seconds for our technicians to go out and capture. Right. So You don't have to worry about the logistics and the coordination with the wedding planners and the catering and all this stuff. I can do one 360 in the middle of the room, right? And be completely fine to just visualize the space. And so that's why a lot of our clients on the 3D tour side of things, they really go with the empty spaces, because you see, like the Everly here, empty space. And we can always come in and do that 360 in really quickly. And you can do multiples of those. Every weekend you could do a new 360. That's fine. But showing empty space, that's a little bit different. And then showing fully set up immaculate is not always, like you just said, it might only be, 5% of your weddings or 1% of your weddings.
But if you have it in a tour, it could be 10% of your weddings, and then maybe 15% of your weddings. This is why we capture those moments and we use those as a powerful marketing tool. So I can testify to the fact that very few wedding venues have a virtual tour that is a great, realistic, beautiful, quality virtual tour. I am seeing them, but like I said, I'm in 200 to 300 websites and social media a week. So it is a very small percentage of venue owners that have jumped onto this. They understand the value of this and they're using this. So if you're a venue owner out there that really needs to stand out in your market, a lot of venue owners have said that so many venues have popped up over COVID that they're really struggling to get their mojo back. You need sales tools that are qualified, proven conversion tools like a virtual tour. I absolutely love these. I just 100% recommend our venue owners looking into this as an option. It's proven in the real estate industry. Another thing that's proven in real estate is that this heavily reduces ghosting you. You might be experiencing a high level of ghosting, and nobody likes that. Nobody wants their time wasted. So, there's a lot of great reasons why a tool like this has so much value for our venue owners.
Yeah, and I will say that I attribute this a lot to the 3D tour. Maybe I'm biased, but I know all of our partners at Sun Valley can attest to the fact that we have 4 points of contact with that 3D tour in our workflow, from the point of contact and on the website all the way through to the time that we follow up with them after they've done a tour. And those 4 points of contact with the 3D tour have essentially given us a booking conversion rate that's, I would say, about 8 to 10% higher than almost every other person that we've polled in a similar type venue with similar type capacity and packages. And so we're able to book so much more because of that. And it's just incredible. It really is.
Okay, so Dustin, the $1 million question: what, on an average investment, would a venue owner be looking at if they move forward with a virtual tour?
Yeah, so typically what we're looking at in terms of overall space and capture is one part of it. Generally speaking, most venues fall in that $400 to maybe $1,000 on the higher end in terms of square footage, right? Because the longer that the technician's there, the more that they're being paid. When we talk about the monthly, we're talking about different levels of visibility. And so what we've done is we've taken kind of a basic approach at $149 a month. And then somebody that wants to get, super integrated is spending more than a couple $100s a month. And for those people that want to, have the tour on their site and have the tour, we can really do some cool things with the tour afterwards. And to have that kind of visibility across all platforms, there's a lot more work on our side. So we're charging a little bit more for that. That has given us kind of the ability to let people come in at a lower price point and not make that investment, like the Knot, for instance, where you're paying several $100s a month. I think that it's I wanted to create something that was affordable for me if I was going to be paying for something. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of pricing.
tells us a lot. It gives our venue owners a lot to go on. And I'm hoping that they're so excited about this program. I really am so confident that this would give a lot of our venue owners a great boost that they're looking for in their conversion rates, as well as a tool that really tells the story of your venue. Like I love to say, even at 2 a.m. when you're sleeping, but somebody else is excited to search for wedding venues. And 100%, this is going to help you stand out, because like I said, a lot of venues do not have this option. If you're out there watching this, go look in your market, look at some of the other venue websites and see for yourself. You might be, not for long, hopefully, but initially for a while, you might be one of the first venues in your market to offer this. And that is definitely a big deal and can make a big impact on your venue. So tourmyvenue.com. This is Dustin Lopez, and Dustin is going to be your point of contact. I'm going to put all of his contact information at the end of this video and in the description so that you can connect with him. Please contact Dustin, get a quote for services, find out more about this, find out how convenient it is, all the data points, all the analytics they provide with you for you to track this and monitor this investment and to make sure it's doing everything that you hoped it would. I'd love to hear your feedback and your questions so that we can continue to connect with Dustin and maybe see some more tours that he's done, maybe show some specifics on how venue owners are using this, and maybe even get some feedback definitely from the venue owners succeeding and increasing their conversion, increasing their revenue and their booked weddings throughout the year with this amazing tool. So Dustin, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.